Welcome to the internet culture, not internet culture, internet drama, internet culture podcast. Basically, the internet podcast. Today we got some banger topics, low key. We're playing Zombs Royale because we didn't have time to download a game, and our Wi-Fi dookie balls. With that being said, we're gonna talk about the Naruto live action, specifically the fact that it could be played by Tom Holland. You're hearing that right. Tom Holland could play Naruto. What type of world are we living in? So there's a couple things that I want to talk about in this specific topic. And then I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the masses. First things first. Do we think that Tom Holland is a good casting for an Asian man with orange hair?
Nah, I haven't really seen Naruto, but I mean, it sounds like no. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds like I don't. What do you think, Cyril? What do you think? You have you seen Naruto?
I think no. I haven't seen Naruto, but I can guarantee you. Listen, Asian or not, Tom Holland is not a good pick.
No.
He looks nothing like him. First of all, I mean, I feel like I don't know. That's insane. If you guys have seen the One Piece live action, they did really good job casting for that. I'm not. They did a really good job casting for that, and honestly, like all the characters looked somewhat similar to the characters that they were like meant to be. So it was actually kind of like insane. It's insane to me when like other shows do so bad at it.
Yeah,
I think Tom Holland is actually that's a perfect example of that exactly. But also like, of course, there's the fact that he's a white dude and a very white dude at that, a British dude. So like, it's kind of weird.
The whitest of white dudes. My thing that I was gonna say is I really feel like, you know, Netflix has done an amazing job with the casting of Avatar live action. I don't know very many people actually watched that show. It seems like a lot did, because apparently they're coming for season 2. But they literally hit every single person. I don't know a single person in that movie that was not a decent cast. We're not going to speak on how terrible that movie actually was, though, because it was that TV series was absolute garbage. If you've ever watched the original series, it's not anything like that. You'd only enjoy it if you like the original series. It's definitely not meant to be for. It's not meant to be like the original series, and they made a lot of lapse in their judgment by doing so. Anyways, with that being said, I want to go back into the main topic. I think that it's very much so wrong for Netflix or whoever's actually running this show to cast a non-Asian character in a Asian role. Now, I'm not going to make this about race. I'm not going to say, oh my gosh, I just want the inclusivity or anything like that. It's not about that, really, for me. It's just about the fact that you got to at least put some effort into casting people. And when somebody looks nothing like their character, it's an issue to me. Especially when it is an entirely different race. A very different race. A very different culture to the one that he is actually.
It is a very surreal thing, or like I don't know why this was what they decided on. Well, you know, it's not official yet, so I don't think we should.
It's not official, no. It's not official.
But
I just want to say, if the casting is this bad, I will not watch it whatsoever. I just won't care about it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, live actions are usually not that good. I think. Wow, we won. Live action animes usually don't go well. I don't know why they continue to do them over and over again, but I think that being said, I think the One Piece one did go really well. One of few. I mean, if you look at other ones like Death Note, you know, they never go well.
No, they really don't.
And they pale in comparison to the original show. So it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I think it was about it in the first place. In casting is like one of the most important parts of it. So yeah, I don't think there's much more to touch on for that really, other than the fact that like it's dumb.
Not for real.
You brought up the live action Death Note. That was actually the Netflix one is that was actually like my introduction to what Death Note was because I'd never heard of it until
Really?
Dang.
yeah that came
Well,
out.
Watch
I
the original?
I thought it was an original thing and I watched it. Had no idea what it was. I didn't really understand it,
That's kind
It,
of
but I hear
crazy.
it.
that's
I
what
hear it's
these
good.
anime
The
live
original.
actions are, though. They just don't make sense to anyone who hasn't watched the original, and they just need to stop making them. Honestly, I get it. You can adapt it. I think they should adapt a. They could have adapted something in the Death Note world and made it interesting, versus just rehashing the same story except not as good.
Except well, rushing it too. You can't fit 4 seasons into a 2-hour film, bro.
Literally,
Yeah,
It's just the truth.
it's
a lot
it's
of
almost
media
rude
gets
to the
rushed.
original writers. Um, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and pivot to our next topic that has nothing to do with live action anything. Andrew Tate was caught in Romania. Why was he caught in Romania? Well, the reason why is because of Aiden Ross. The reason why he's caught by Aiden Ross is because Aiden Ross went live on stream and expressed that Tate had plans to leave the country with Aiden, so he was going to do a week-long stream or get a bunch of stream content with him. Aiden Ross leaked this interest live to his, relatively large audience. He averages something like 70,000 viewers, which is absurd for a kick streamer. Like, I mean, Aiden just pulls. Not gonna lie, I look up to those numbers. But with that being said, I mean, he just entirely not doxed. That's not the right word, but like revealed his plans to the world.
Accidentally snitched, basically.
Accidentally snitched. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
Sorry guys, I accidentally snitched. My bad,
Yeah,
y'all.
accidentally snitched and told the government that you were leaving the country. I mean, like, how much worse do you have to get to snitch like that bad? I'm not that Aiden Ross did anything inherently wrong. I mean, he's a pretty wholesome guy. Not really. He's occasionally a wholesome guy, and I don't think he meant any ill will by it, which is actually just crazy.
Yeah, it is. I wonder what Tate's response to him will be.
I don't know. He didn't get a
mean,
response. He just got to be behind bars.
Not yet, but like I can just imagine him digging in on him.
Yeah.
It's pretty. This even happened, to be honest. Like it's kind of I don't know, cause since they're I would say I would call them friends. Since they're friends, I think it's just. I mean, it's kind of like sad in their own regard. What Ford or like that happened to each other.
Literally.
But like, it's like or like weird that it even happened in the first place. But it's just like regardless of what you think of like Tate or Aiden Ross or whatever, it's just kind of like fucked up that it even happened in the first place.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else we can touch up on there. I mean, it's just a travesty, man. That just sucks.
Yeah. What exactly did actually? There is one more thing we can talk about. What exactly did he get locked up like for? Like, did they say what they're locking him up for?
It's basically double jeopardy, but
charged.
he's being charged in the UK for the same thing he was being charged for in Romania. So they're just charging him for sexual misconduct, taking advantage of women.
Okay.
Everything that I've seen proof-wise, he's probably going to get off. Like well, I mean, I'd hope he wouldn't get off, but he's probably gonna get off on these charges, and I mean it doesn't really mean as much as what you think, but still, I mean that sucks. That sucks. Imagine being the reason why your homie is in jail.
Yeah.
I couldn't take
That
that, me personally.
But anyways, what we
Our
got now?
next topic, we got a big old topic here. It is going to be the TikTok ban bill. Now, we were talking about this a little bit before stream, and nothing is fully finalized, but it was voted in the House that TikTok is to be banned or divest its interest to American companies. So that would mean ByteDance, the Chinese company, would have to get rid of their shares in TikTok and instead give the shares in TikTok to an American company. This could be a bad thing because obviously the argument of, hey, well, isn't this meant to be a free country? Well, a lot of people are arguing, well, it is, but like they're protecting us, so it's different. Me personally, I don't like seeing TikTok being banned. That was originally where I started, and I think it's gonna hurt a lot of creators more than help them. And I'm always gonna be for the creator.
I also think it's a big deal in terms of like what the government can and can't control in the future of the media we intake. So, like,
Absolutely.
is this a danger? Because the thing is that on TikTok, the reason that like one of the reasons that they want to ban it so bad is because they can't control what gets put on there, and so
Right.
considering it's made by obviously it operates in another country, the company, and so since they can't decide what can and can't be put on there in that same manner that they can with an American company, it's just it puts them at jeopardy. I think because think about this, is like on TikTok you can view things going on around the world that you couldn't view on YouTube or even Instagram.
Just because it has very little filters.
Yeah.
Right, and also like the things our own country is getting up to, because like if our own country is doing something, you're not going to be allowed to talk about it in all of our media is not going to talk about it and all this sort of stuff.
A big thing was COVID. COVID was able to be talked about on TikTok in a way that it was
Exactly.
not able to be talked about on YouTube. You get taken down. And I'm not giving any opinion YouTube, so don't take this down. But that was one thing that was not able to be talked about, except for TikTok.
I
Right,
remember
so I
that.
think that's why one of the reasons they want to ban it is because they can't control it, and I think that's
Because
really
they won't
messed up.
fall into line. Hmm.
Right, and
And
it puts the future at jeopardy too for what can and can't happen. It's like where do they stop if this is if this actually passes? Where are they going to stop? But obviously, it still has to go through the Senate. So.
Oh, so
I
it's way more than what I thought it was. When you said that to me, you didn't really say it like what you just said they were banning. I just assumed that they were like because the whole thing about the Chinese government's watching you, like the same thing about how like Facebook was getting sued for this, like the same thing. I thought it
Right.
was like one of those
Data.
conspiracies.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what they kind of like pose it as, but like they think that they say that the Chinese government is like getting info, but in reality, every country gets info on every other country constantly through all their media and through just everything. I mean, like even the U.S. sends stuff to China all the time to collect info on them, and the China does it to us too. It's just like it's so like I think that that's a fear, but it's almost like it's almost like a multifaceted reason
hmm
and like the reasons that they that are really bad they almost can't say because it'd be received poorly.
We all know I
Oh,
can't say, I can't do.
I can't say what type of doctor it is.
it's
That
wild,
means I'm
No,
man.
like
don't say it. No. Okay. Anyways, off on a more serious note. I would hope that TikTok does not get banned. That would be a bad thing. Um, a lot of people would come to YouTube Shorts. A lot of people would compete on YouTube Shorts, and they'd realize that it's nothing like TikTok because you actually make money here. I
or
do urge
would it
all
shit though?
TikTok creators at the current moment to make a second account on YouTube Shorts because you're probably going to not have a platform in the next 10-ish years because TikTok is more fad based than YouTube is. And I think eventually it's going to become just like it was. And you still watch TikTok type of deal.
Hmm.
Um,
Uh,
that's where I see the future of the platform going. I'm not saying soon. I'm saying a very far future though. I
Right,
see it
within the
being
next decade or so.
within the next decade is what I'm thinking.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, if TikTok goes, it's probably not. It's there probably is gonna be something else that replaces it. Like the same way, like I don't know
YouTube.
if you remember, like yeah, YouTube, Vine. Like Vine was a thing, Musically was a thing, and that's basically like what TikTok is now and all that. But also TikTok, a lot of what I've seen recently on TikTok is just either like, well, I got it to where finally it'll just show me videos like I actually want to see, like just random funny videos I like
Same
to watch.
algorithm, right?
Yeah, but like if you like start a fresh account on there, you'll just see like absolute garbage that I don't think any person of any age should be exposed to just because of how like brain rotting it actually can it
Oh
feels.
no,
So
I see what
basically,
you
you're
mean.
talking about edging the Riz Lord yacht.
like that kind of stuff.
Basically, yeah. It's like I don't know.
Oh,
I'd
would you
have
be
to
referring
describe.
to gooning?
There's a situation.
Like culture and stuff like that.
There's it's a wide variety of things. I probably will mention this just because it's such a hot topic right now too. The whole I don't know if you know who Jason Nash is, but people are making like videos on him recently because like
Mhm.
he's like one of those people that'll be live all the
I
time
saw
begging
it.
for cash.
Yep.
I feel really bad, but I also think it's like hot garbage.
No, it is to a degree. I mean, it kind of sucks. He's begging for money from mainly children.
Right.
I know what you're talking about, the Danny Gonzalez video. I watched the video
Yes,
front to back.
that's
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's sad to see the way that he has come. Not edged. He's come and come to the
He
platform,
went away. He comes.
no,
and
not
he just is
not throwing shade
begging
at
for
Jason though.
donations. I mean, it's
I
it's
don't
kind of
want
weird. It's kind of weird, and I understand you can't just get a real job in a sense of real job. I'm saying real job in quotes for those that can't see me, but it is a real job. You got to understand that it's a real job now. You don't like the job, that's okay, but begging for money online has been around since TikTok lives, and a lot of people are taking advantage of it more than just Jason Nash, and he's just seeing it as, oh, this is an up and coming thing, I'm gonna do it too. It
Right.
sucks,
And,
but that's how he's doing it.
and I want to touch on too is that I don't think like I want to mention that I don't think that TikTok like by any means are like saints. Like I don't think they're like crazy, just like a crazy good platform in necessarily in every like facet. Because I think TikTok has many faults. I just think that, you know, the reasons by which it's being like banned and stuff, I think are not the reasons why like I would say that. You know what I mean? Like I think there's good things to offer from it if it's utilized correctly. And you know, uh oh brother, you're dead. Um
no, that makes sense.
oh,
No.
sorry, we were in the middle of a fight, but basically what I was saying is I think there's like bad things about TikTok, but
There's also a lot of
But
good, and it sucks to
there's
lose the good with from
that's
the
just
bad.
about everything, right? Like that's the same for everything. There's good things. I mean, I can say that about YouTube, right? There's good things and bad things about YouTube, and so
Oh, no,
it's
no.
just more or less about whether or not you think these things are worth and do they outweigh the bad and whatever, right? So I don't know. I hope that it doesn't get banned for the good of the American people. I hope it doesn't get banned. And also one other
Agreed.
actually super important thing. I didn't even think about this, by the way. I saw someone talk about this on TikTok. I think, Brody, you left again, by the way.
Yeah.
Basically what does TikTok like shutting down in the US? What does that leave for the state of music itself? Because music very much revolves around the music industry right now revolves around TikTok and TikTok sounds. Think about how many big artists like in the last few years have blown up just through TikTok. You know, you have huge people who have made a big impact like through it. Like there's that
Oh,
one guy, Four Bats, who just got a remix with Drake.
I
He
can't
like
miss that
solely
by 8 p.m.
yeah, that guy. He like solely reps, and this is just within the last few months. He solely like was on TikTok and Instagram, and he blew up, and it was just for that. And so like, there's people like that all the time. There's D4VD, if you guys know who that is. He has like a popular song, "Romantic Homicide." Like, I don't care how long it takes, as long as you're here with me. You know, you probably know this song if you heard
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I
But,
know the song.
yeah. And so like it's just now he has like 24 million monthly listeners or something like that. Like he's huge now. That's bigger than like a lot of the mainstream people we see nowadays. So it just leaves you to like question like what I don't know like what happens to music. Even if you think about like big hits, like what makes a big hit because the radio is like radio hits aren't really a thing anymore. Like stuff on the radio doesn't get played like that. And it's almost like TikTok took what becomes a hit versus what the radio like used to decide.
No, for sure.
Based on radio plays and what people would listen to. And
Speaking
so-
of radio plays, sorry to get off the topic,
you're fine.
but Playboy Cardi,
Ah,
Ketamine,
that's
the new single
pretty
dropped.
bad. Pretty.
Pretty bad.
I mean, listen, I'm not a Cardi fan at all. I'm not a fan of what he does, and I think he's creative mind, and I can respect the art that he makes. Because the thing about Cardi is that he's like very unique and different, and that's why he's so successful. I think, in the same way that like Kanye West would be, or like anyone who's innovated the music itself. I mean, he created an entire genre. Like it's pretty. It takes a pretty like creative person to do that. But I don't enjoy the music he makes at all for the most part, and I don't like the stuff that he represents as like basically a Satanist. You know, he has the lines like mocking Jesus in his new song, and not to even mention that the song is not that good. Definitely, I think one of the most overrated artists of our generation. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to touch on that. I don't know if you guys have heard the song.
I have not heard the song. I have heard people's reactions to the song, and it seemed like people were liking it. So maybe a hot take by Cyril here. Possibly. Even if it is, I understand it. I also don't like the guy as a person. I will say that. He stands against a lot of things that I believe in, and I don't like it. Yeah. Ultimately, I don't really have much more to say about it than that. The next thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the sketchy and Jinx, or not sketchy, Sketch and Jinxie relationship that we never knew we wanted, but we got. Recently, someone has been blowing up. That guy goes by the name of Sketch. Sketch is a content creator that seems to be severely autistic. That is the only way to describe him.
It's a character, bro.
It is a character. I have heard it's a character. I do know that it's a character. I've seen him not being the character, and that's why I know.
Yeah. sorry, I cut you off. What else are you gonna say about it?
He's incredibly funny though. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
He is very funny, and he seems to be doing it in a way that's not necessarily making fun of special needs people as well. I think a lot of times this could be done distastefully, but from what I've seen, he's not really making fun of anyone, which is very important to me. I know many people with special needs. I grew up being very close friends with someone with special needs, and it's just like I would hope that he's not taking advantage of anybody and he's not making anybody feel bad. And I don't think he is, at least from my personal perspective.
And from what I understand, he does have autism. He just
Not as severe.
It's not nearly as severe, and he plays into it so much because it's what gets views, which is actually pretty smart.
He's using what most people would see as a disadvantage and making it an advantage, realistically.
Exactly. And so he plays into his disadvantage, almost, what people would call a disadvantage at least. He plays into it, and it's ultimately made him, if you think about it, it's made him a lot of money, and it's made him blow up a lot. So it'll be interesting to see how much he changes from where he's at. Like, or
for sure. I think he's also highly quotable, which is something that he's learning from Jinxie. Jinxie is at this point in his career where you can take the Aiden Ross approach, where you start making people and making their careers, and Jinxie's doing it. Jinxie is making careers now. If I would have told you who's Cassie a couple months ago, you would never have known. That's a streamer that he had a fling with. If I would have told you who's Sketch, or I would have asked you who's Sketch, you wouldn't have known. You genuinely wouldn't have known. Most people do not know who Sketch is, except through Jinxie. And so I just think that he's taking the Aiden Ross approach of literally making people's careers now, and making the correct type of people's careers as well. He's not picking scumbags to make famous, whereas I would personally argue that a couple times Aiden Ross has had big misses. Huge misses.
Yeah.
Specifically, Neon is not a great dude. He's not a great dude.
Yeah.
Regardless if you like him or not, you like watching his content, he doesn't seem like a great dude. He doesn't seem like he has his chat's best interest in mind or his own interest in mind. And I'd honestly like to have a conversation with him ultimately, because I think I could probably be friends with the guy, even though he's still like not the greatest person in the world, and I could probably help him figure out who he really wants to be. Who is this guy, and why is he on our team? I thought we did no Phil.
I don't know.
I just realized. He's kind of clutching though. He's kind of goated too.
Neon's the dude with the shaved head, right?
Yeah, shaved head. he does seem to be Middle Eastern, but yeah, it's actually crazy though how cool all of this has become. And Jinxie's making the right guys famous. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's making the right guys famous. And he's making people that seem to be really talented famous as well. So I love to see it. And ultimately, I want to say, Sketch and Jinxie, greatest duo of 2024.
Dang, that's calling it real early.
Calling it greatest duo of 2024.
And I also want to touch. I think that this new era of streamers is also very cool too. Like if Queso, Jinxie, Sketch, like all these people blowing up, they very much like promote positivity. In honestly, like I, like that. And I know there's also like Speed and Kaisen that you could talk about too, who've been in the last like 2-3 years.
I don't think Kai and Speed are promoting negativity in a sense. I think that Kai has had a bad situation before, but he overall promotes positivity. And then Speed, I genuinely believe that this guy just pumps out negative content mainly.
That's understandable.
With Speed, at least, I do believe that he does pump out mainly negative content. He does a lot of things that are just degenerate activities. I've noticed.
Yeah, I think Speed was just one of those creators that he's capable of being like better, but he came in around the time where other people were still at the high ropes. But yeah, I agree with like streaming's getting, or not just, or just content creation in general is just getting more positive. Because like if you look like back, like not even like 3 years ago, it was just people fight. It still happens, but it's not as bad where it's like just people beefing, being negative, fighting on camera, getting violent.
I think it also might be us getting older as well. I think we see less of the negative because we choose to see less of the negative. Because there is like the Neon Aiden Ross stuff and the Andrew Tates of the world and the people that just cause drama like Sneeko and stuff like that. But I think ultimately we're moving towards a better direction overall.
Those I will say even like the bet I won't say everyone. There are still a handful of them. I won't name them, but that I think are genuine. That I don't think they deserve anything they got. But like I like compared to like how like Aiden Ross and like even Andrew Tate are, I would say compared to like from what I remember back in the day, like I don't even think you guys remember who these people are, but like Sam Pepper and Ice Poseidon and all that whole group when they were the big shots. I don't know if you remember those streams. A bunch of kids looked up to them, and those streams were just absolute chaos. People, I don't know. It was just, I don't think it was good.
No, Ice Poseidon was not great. I also would say that like. No offense to Gideon whatsoever, but the Gideons of the world where he was promoting a bunch of pranks and being just a menace and like the clones of Gideon that took it way further. I don't think Gideon in himself took it that far, but the clones that took it way, way further and decided that was a good idea and we all just like watched that and accepted it. I feel like that was a messed up situation.
Yeah, it is now, I guess. But I had a thought I wanted to finish too. That I was gonna say that like I guess like in the greater scheme of what's popular now, I was including Speed and Kaisenet. But I mean like in the terms of what's grown in the last 6 months, we've had the rise of Jinxie, you've had the rise of Queso, I guess now Sketch, which I mean it's only been about like a week or two where Sketch has been on the platform and like growing and stuff. But
it's amazing, brother.
Yeah, exactly. So many quotes too. Yes, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse. Sorry for cursing. Yeah, he always apologizes for cursing, which is it's just stuff like that that's like hilarious and it makes him very quotable and they're positive.
No, come back. Come back. I hope come back now.
Yeah, no, I agree. No, it's crazy though. As all the other YouTubers or content creators are leaving like Mad Pet.
Yeah, dude.
That's
and
true.
I think they're leaving it in good hands though, because he was a very positive content creator for a long time, and I think he's leaving us in good hands. I mean, he's leaving us with good people, and it's obviously that wasn't his idea. I mean, he wasn't like I'm gonna leave these guys with good people, but he kind of is. He's kind of leaving the group of youngsters in good hands,
And actually, that's something to talk about too. I don't know if you guys heard, but MatPat made 6 different endings for his departure.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it was alternative endings to his video, his Final Theory video, if you've seen it.
I was gonna say that, but I
Oh,
spoiled enough for
yeah.
you, so I didn't want to say anything. I actually was gonna bring it up, but I was too afraid of repeating history again. Sorry,
It's all
Cyril.
good, brother.
I still feel
Oh,
bad.
no, I appreciate it.
If
Exactly.
you
It's all good, brother.
if you're listening to this and you don't understand what I'm talking about, I actually spoiled Matt Pat's final video for these two here by accident. I won't say it, by revealing a plot twist cameo that I probably should stop talking about. But yeah, so my bad, y'all.
No, dude, it's all good. Sketch is awesome, though. Jinxie's awesome. We're making the right people famous. I mean, obviously, it's not just me, and it's not just you. I mean, we're making the right people famous, though, in my opinion. You know,
Yeah.
it's the right people.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. Have you watched any of the alternative endings, brother?
Have I watched any what?
The alternative endings we were talking about?
I've not watched the Mad Pet stuff. No, I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't had the chance to. Ultimately, I think that, honestly, in my mind, I just registered that Matt Pat was gone a while ago, and I just kind of like tuned out. You know, it sucks, but like that's kind of what my brain did. I was like, he's gone. I'm not bringing him back, and so I just.
I did that a little bit too. I would recommend watching it, like
Yeah.
at least one of the endings though, because it's so cool. I think that's the best way to go out though, getting like multiple different endings, bro. It's like
Yeah,
a
no,
video
it's
game.
interesting.
And especially like with his, I mean, being a theorist, it's cool that he did it like that because there was a search for him too. Like you didn't just get the endings. It was like to find the endings, and you can find them all now because people obviously have reposted and stuff. But it was cool. But anyways,
Yeah, I think that's our final topic. I just wanted to do a quick personal update for the last like 5 minutes of the pod. As you guys know, I got the tattoo gun a couple weeks ago. I realized that I like tattooing a lot more, so I'm gonna be continuing to pursue learning that. I got a car recently for myself, which thank you for everyone who donated, because I mean you guys are ultimately a part of my income. Most of it, if not, like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, all my money that I get from YouTube goes back in plus some, but still, I wouldn't have enough money if I didn't have you guys. That sounds so condescending and weird. I always think that's weird, but I got a car. It was a cheap car. It's nothing special. I'm gonna learn cars and stuff like that. But that's what I wanted to talk about real fast.
nice.
Let's do Nuckwit next, and then we'll talk about Cyril last.
All right,
Quick.
Cyril.
No?
No, I was just trying to mess with you. Dude, what has been going on? Other than school, I would like to announce that I have a few videos that I'm finally getting back into working on and writing. They're gonna be very long though, so
Long videos.
yeah,
What type of
yeah.
videos? If you
Would you say that
if
they're
you don't-
Drake size?
would you
Uh,
long
dude, they're like they're like a $5 foot long, bro. From
Damn.
Subway.
That's some
videos
Drake.
brought to you
Zam.
by Subway. Um,
Bet.
I'll show something soon though. I'm hoping I can. It's
Dude, absolutely.
Pro leaks.
I'm excited.
it's in the
Leak your release.
storyboard stage still though, so
Cool.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's quick.
And then
Yeah.
for Cyril, album, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so I've been working more and more. I actually just the other day I finished 2 songs. And I've been working really hard on it, man. It's taking a lot longer than I thought it would, to be honest. Because more or less like what my mindset on it has become is that I don't want to put something out that I'm not extremely proud of and that I don't find to be the best, like to the best of my ability.
True.
I've actually, to be honest, I've made 20 plus finished songs. It's just that as I do more, you almost get better. It's I don't know, it's a mindset that I wouldn't have understood months ago. But as I work on it more, it's almost like I don't want to put something out that I made like 4 months ago because I know I could do better now. And so it's a little bit trying to get over that and also trying to put together the best piece I can.
Absolutely.
at the same time. So that's that. And I've been working a lot, trying to. Me and Brody both actually have been trying to get these promotions at work
Sure.
to a shift leader, team leader. For those of you who go by that name for it. So that's we got interviews for that coming soon. So we will keep you guys updated on that. But
For sure. And then a
that's
recovery
recovery.
from the Dutch Bros incident.
Oh yes.
The arm
I
Dutch Bros incident. When your
today
arm got cut off.
yeah,
The Dutch of
exactly.
'87.
Got my stitches taken out today, and got
Yes.
some face stickers or whatever you want to call them on there. So it should be back to normal within the next week, and I'm really excited
W.
because it was a
W.
pretty horrible week.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're gonna
So,
figure things out. We're gonna figure things out.
oh yeah,
And that's a good place to end the podcast on a bunch of positive news. So if you stay to the end, make sure to leave a dislike, and I will see you internet culture boys later.
Blah.